and today we are going to be featuring the single success experience and some whys behind it. And I have my very special guest, my featured partner, and a triplet. We call each other Trip. Dr. Michelle Walker Davis. Welcome her, everybody. She's in the house today.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Good to see
Yes.
you again, Trip.
Yeah, I know. We did. Michelle, Dr. Walker, she did the last single success conference I did online, which was sold out. And
Yeah.
after the conference was over, people stayed another 2 hours asking questions, which was like a really great thing.
Yeah.
And so we decided to jump on. We're going to do a quick live because
Mhm.
on May the 30th, here in
Mhm.
Orlando, Florida, we are going to actually be live on location doing a single success experience, as well as we're going to be broadcasting it with Onstage Plus Network also. So you can get tickets that way too. And so we just love to talk about statistics and numbers. And we recently had a conversation about marriage and money.
Mm. Okay.
And you were sharing with me some statistics
Mhm.
about different cultures making
Mhm.
different money, and
Mhm.
those cultures that stay together with a
Mhm.
high marriage rate
Yes.
made the most money,
Absolutely.
and those at the very bottom of the money making list had the
Mhm.
highest divorce rate.
Absolutely.
Can you share a little bit of those statistics of what
Yes,
you know? Yeah.
absolutely. And this conversation came about because of Dr. Frazier letting me know that the African American community has the lowest marriage rate at 38% than in the history ever since, after enslavement, right?
Right.
And so the numbers go like this. The highest income earners are the Southeast Asian community, which we call Indians, right?
Right.
So they make the most money out of any culture, and their marriage rate is like 89%, right? Then after that group, the next group is the Chinese Oriental community, right? That Asian group. And they're
Mhm.
somewhere around 82% marriage rate. And then, believe it or not, then you get the white Americans, and they're somewhere around 78% marriage. And
Mhm.
then Latinos come in at about 72% marriage rate, and they're the fourth largest group in terms of revenue. So who do you think's on the bottom, Kev?
People, people of color, the Black Afro American community.
Absolutely. So there's a direct correlation between marriage and revenue, or if you flip it, divorce and revenue. So, me being a Black American woman, I know that most of our households are headed up by females, right?
Right.
And so those statistics are real, but why they exist is the question. Why is our community so different, Kevin, than the other three cultures? And I'm asking you in particular because you're the relationship expert.
Well, thank you for asking that question. And I'm just gonna go not based off of what I've heard. I'll go based off of what I've seen, what I've read, and what I understand as a fact from observation and watching. And so any time there's a divide, uh and it doesn't matter what culture it is, but anytime there's division, there can be defeat. And so with the Black community, there is division. It's programmed that way. So a lot of times people don't understand what programming they're subscribing to. We all subscribe to one. I'm a Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ. That, but I also live and I didn't have Christ in my life. And my relationships there's some things fundamentally that I missed when I didn't have Christ in my life, like falling under authority and understanding the fact that one can put 1,000 to flight, but two can put 10,000 to flight.
10,000, that's
Look,
right.
I always want 10,000. I'm not trying to roll by myself with just 1,000, and everybody else, I see them, they got 5,000, they got 7,000. I mean, can I get 8,000? Can I get 10,000 too? And so we have been the program. A lot of people who are divorced or choose to not be in a relationship, the program that they subscribe to is not one that teaches you how to be together and work as a partner. That's what the single success experience is about. We're gonna be about teaching people how to create a vision. Not a vision board with your pictures on it, because you need that too.
Yeah.
That's important. I have one of those. But how to create a vision for yourself. But you have to learn how you're wired first. Your strengths, your weaknesses, and a lot of people are in denial about things that they're weak about. That's one thing we've been taught, to be embarrassed about that. Don't be embarrassed. Look, you got to say that's the whole purpose of partnering, so that somebody can get your back. You don't have eyes in the back of your head. They have a different skill set, and what we've fallen to is pride. My way is right. My thought is better. It's you have to get trained on how to work together as a team. And that's one of the things that we're going to be doing at the Single Success Experience.
Well, it may sound frivolous, Kevin, but I've been in conversations where couples get into it over how they put the toilet tissue on the ring, if it's over or if it's under, and that causes a problem in the household. Whether the door in the bathroom is left shut or left open, that can cause a problem. They're ready for divorce. Can you talk about that?
Yeah, I can, and I'm gonna talk about that. So first of all, I was married for a short season. That sounds like some of the mess that was going on there, but God was not at the center of our relationship, right? So I'm just gonna merely say that's level of immaturity. See, people, when you train, you have to understand that when I train, I know that things like leave the door open, leave the door closed. Toilet paper go over, toilet paper go under. That's not a battle I want to pick, because guess what? Every time I let strife into my relationship, I block my money and I block my blessings.
All right.
When you subscribe to that program, you do everything to protect it. If you want the toilet paper over or under, I don't really care. All I know is we're not going to fight about it.
Excellent.
That's a different level of maturity. But if you don't ever go to any training and people tell you about that, and I hate to say it, and I'm saying it with love. That's the dumb stuff we do. I did it before, but I hadn't had the level of training I got after I got divorced. I then started going to every single success conference, 3-day conferences, buying all the materials. And over 10 years, I collected information. I said, my God, it's a pattern to success in being together. We don't even train.
Well, let's talk about that, Kev, because we take a lot of courses, we get a lot of degrees. Black women have more college degrees than any other group, right? But how much time do we spend on relationship counseling, training, development, therapy, or just even married couples? My husband and I did. We showed up at the pastor's doorstep, going through marriage counseling. 2 months before walking down the aisle, and that's all that we had. Two
Look,
young people on a wing and a prayer.
it's real too. So the first time I got married, I did the same thing too.
Mhm.
It didn't last. We got kids involved now. And I had to take responsibility because I had to figure out what inside of me, what was it that was so deep that I didn't partner with the right person. See, it wasn't on them, it was on me. What was it inside of me that did that, right? And so then that's when I started training. And the first 3 day singles, I went to a singles workshop. I was
Mhm.
angry because I
Okay.
couldn't believe the information that I didn't know.
Didn't
And I
have.
already knew I didn't want to fail again. And I knew I was going to get married again.
Mm.
And the information I started taking in, let me give you a perfect example. There's two books out there. Is one is called The Power of a Praying Husband, and the other
Mhm.
one is called The Power of a Praying Wife.
Mhm.
If you look at
Mhm.
both of them books, the topics they tell you to pray about is the
Yeah.
issues that we're having that we have no clue on how to deal with.
Mm.
You look at them two books, you'll see everything that a man is going to be dealing with and
Mhm.
everything that a woman is going to be dealing with. And when you go through those and you ask
Mhm.
yourself, do I have the skill set to deal with that? And the answer is going to be no. Because one, you don't even know how to pray for the person.
Right.
Two, you so frustrated with your situation that you don't even know how to regulate your own emotions and mentality. Now you got to deal with someone else. And that's
Mhm.
just a recipe for failure.
Or
And
disaster. Yeah.
people have tried 20 years, 23 years, 27 years, and then get divorced because they
Mm.
realize, hey, I never found my purpose.
Mm.
The single success experience is saying we're going to help you build and find your purpose and start coaching right now. Whether you are, especially if you're in a relationship, you need to bring your person with you. They don't
Okay.
want to come. Uh-oh.
Mhm.
That means y'all not going the same direction.
Right. 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 I do got to go back for a minute though.
Okay.
So your experience, that counseling right before you got married, it wasn't enough. The marriage fell apart, right?
Yes.
So my experience, my husband and I are going on 40 years of marriage come
Yeah.
August, right? August 9th of
Yes.
this year. But we have to work on it. I mean, we've seen different type of marriage counselors, and let me tell you, not all of them are alike. In fact, my husband didn't care for quite a few of them, so we had to keep going until we found a good fit, right?
Yes.
But it's something we constantly still have to work on because life is lifing. So I'm not the same person I was in my 20s as I am in my 40s, right? So
Right.
things happen, then you become a mother, and then some of us become a grandmother. So things happen, but it's our commonality was not only the love that we had for each other and respect that we had for each other, but we partner together in such a way that when it's on, nobody can come between us. There's nothing, there's no force or whatever. It's like
Right.
we're the dynamic duo. And it's those times that keep us together.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But can you just comment about there's all different types of therapists and counselors and things like that?
There is, and I've been to a couple when I was first married. The difference between my marriage now, which is absolutely, I understand why God made Adam a helpmate. Okay, I love my wife. She is so beautiful. But the major difference was counseling. When you're getting ready to get married, you've already decided you're going to get married.
Right.
While my wife now and I are dating, the
Mm-hmm.
first thing we said was, we're going to start coaching now while we're dating so that we don't have to be bitter, angry, or hurt at each other
Mm-hmm.
if this doesn't work out.
Okay.
So we actually started coaching. So we'll be married going on 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
And every year we got married in November. In January, we was at a marriage retreat,
Mm-hmm.
getting coached on dynamics, his needs, her needs, how she communicates, fellas, and how we need to respond to how she communicates. Ladies, here's what he needs.
Mm-hmm.
And we've gone every single year.
Yeah.
We've gone 4 years, and we constantly grow and learn, and we use the tools.
Excellent.
So that's the difference
Beautiful.
between, for me, I'm on the coaching side. So I believe in training. Runners train,
Mm-hmm.
swimmers train, race
Mm-hmm.
car drivers train, football, golfers.
Mm-hmm. Every
Everybody
sport.
train at
Mm-hmm.
something that they do, but we don't train at being in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So no wonder why the divorce rate is so high. More than
Mm-hmm.
50% the first time marriages end up in divorce. I see why, because you
Mm-hmm.
jump in trying to run a marathon and you ain't trained one bit.
Absolutely.
It's not
Well,
gonna work.
Kev, let's just jump ahead a little bit because I mentioned this success experience, single success experience to
Yeah.
a friend of mine. And they're in a relationship. It's getting a little deeper, a little thicker. But the response that I got was that this might break us up. So they were like taking this master class, this training might break them up. What's your response to that?
Okay, so look. First of all, I'm the guy, I'm the coach, I'm the consultant that's going to talk about the hard stuff. A lot of times we don't talk about the hard stuff, but it will arise at some point in time if you don't address it. Sometimes it's too late because the roots have taken and gotten really deep. Okay. Our goal is not to break anybody up. Our goal is to equip you for the journey, which is why we have a dating roadmap. There's things that you should be doing or training on all the way up until you say, I do. On that road, there is exits that you take, but you take the exits to keep from having children. Now the children have to be a product of y'all two not training. Now you got the courts involved. Now you got the financial mess. Now you got other people. It's better to deal with the stuff and prepare for the work that you have to do is really what we want to do. Our goal is that we don't want to break not one soul up. That's not our purpose. Our purpose is to say, here's how you train to have a marriage that lasts forever. My
Wow.
parents were married 63 years before my
Yeah.
mom passed away.
Right.
Then my
My
dad
parents,
lived another 4
67
years
years.
after that. He was almost 92 years old.
Wow.
So train to be successful. Now you might be upset that you got to train.
Put the work in.
You might be upset about that, but the result is beautiful. It's beautiful to work it through. I understand because I have failed.
Right.
I have dealt with nightmares of a bad decision. And I have recovered and I have watched this amazing thing that God did. And I did all of the work
You
and
did the
attracted
work.
the right person.
Right person.
And it's
Okay.
beautiful. Yes.
So then, what is the difference between a checklist and a roadmap? Because a lot of us have a checklist of things that they want and looking for and all of that. And I don't mean us. I have checklists in my daily life, so I'm not in the dating game, but I know what a checklist is. So you're talking about designing a roadmap. How is that different than those that have a checklist of what they want and what they're looking for?
So when you have a checklist, it's just a bunch of items. And you should have a checklist. But when you have a roadmap, you look at certain checklist items before you move forward, and the roadmap will tell you what things to look at first. A lot of times we have this checklist and we're going through the checklist out of order.
Mm,
For example, if I don't know how I'm when I'm out of esteem or I'm grumpy or crabby or I have stressors and I know I'm trying to avoid my stress and then I'm having a bad day, now I'm grumpy and I'm dealing with somebody else and I don't know how to fill my own cup, that's see that's a problem. So you checking
mm,
off all of these check things, but you don't know how to fill your own cup.
mhm,
That's where the problem comes in. And a dating roadmap teaches you how to identify when you have a half a cup, when you need to regas up,
mhm.
or when you need to exit a relationship. And then there's traps to look out for on the
Totally different.
roadmap.
Yeah,
That's
this is
totally different.
totally different. This
Yeah.
is more emotional driven, how to make the right choices. This is
Yes.
more about your emotional IQ
Yes.
and recognizing the triggers and things like that, which a checklist won't do for you.
It will not do that for you. You
Mhm.
my wife and I, we both work on that. And so I know where her stressors are. She's a very detailed person. So guess what? If she wants the toilet paper like that, that's more important to her than it is to me. But
Mhm.
guess what? I know that as a leader, if I don't feed my wife, that's going to be a problem.
Mhm.
So I had to learn my leadership style. And then I
Mhm.
had to be able to adjust my leadership style to be able to lead in her language.
Mhm.
That's not a checklist. That's training.
Okay. All right. I gotcha. I'm asking you all the tough questions
That's
for my
okay. That's
girls
right.
out there. Now,
Yeah.
what about women that are professional at the highest level in their company or with the government or owning their own business, and then they come home and they're supposed to be all soft and cuddly and subservient, if you will. So, how do you balance that? Because I hear it all the time, and I experience the same thing being the highest paid Black female at my first job right out of college and all those things happening, then coming home. And, it's hard to just take that jacket off or that cape off and be this other person. You do get hardened along the way. And so I hear a lot of professional women saying the same thing. It's hard to make that transition once you get home. So, what's your response to that?
Well, that's a part of the envisioning and creating the vision. You have to have steps to get there. It doesn't happen like, okay, I'm a boss at work and now I come
Mhm,
home. Now all of a
mhm,
sudden I can put it down. First of all, that's going to be
mm,
difficult if you've never practiced that.
mm,
Second of all, if you don't know what steps it is to decompressing from work or making a
mhm,
transition from a boss to your soft side, then that's a
mhm,
problem. So again, it comes down to training, identity, recognizing, and being understand how you're wired. Because
mhm,
sometimes it's very hard that if I'm running things at work and I'm so used to running things, and then
mhm,
I'm with a guy,
mhm,
and let's say he's emotionally has a high IQ and he's
mhm,
aware, then he can say, this is how she's wired. This is what she needs to transition to her soft side. Let me set that up because I'm the leader. I'm
Okay.
supposed to run the house anyway. That's just my own personal opinion. My dad ran the home.
Right, right.
Adam ran the garden before Eve was even around.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So me, I'm running the house. I'm watching over my wife. I'm taking care of the environment. I'm making sure
Right.
she good when she come home. But guess
Okay.
what, fellas? That's why we gotta train.
Mm, I love it. I
And that's what
love
the
it.
single success experience is about. It's the beginning of training.
So what we're talking about is the single success experience that's happening May 30th in Orlando, Florida, and virtually.
Yes,
So Kevin, the relationship expert, I need to know what's the difference between coming in person and virtual. I mean, there's nothing like being there,
I
but of
know,
course,
right?
everyone cannot come to Orlando on May 30th. So what do you say
And
to the
so,
people out there?
just being in any atmosphere is always good in if you can be in the room and you making a
Mhm.
trip. I mean, that's a great trip to make. I mean, it
Yeah.
is in Orlando. That's a great way to plan. Hey, this is what we're gonna do on Saturday. We're gonna fly out on Thursday. We're gonna come back on Tuesday. Your girls, some of y'all couples that's living together already, or you just
Mhm.
dating and y'all want to make a trip. We're
Yes.
gonna go, we gonna go work on our relationship and we're gonna go
Mm.
down here and have some fun. We're gonna hit Disney, we're gonna do some things down here.
That's amazing. How many people do that? They talk about, relaxing, going on a retreat, working on themselves, or, vacationing or going to a party or whatever. But how many say we're going to train and work on ourselves? We're going to train and work on our relationship. We're going to go and work on developing a greater partnership.
That's right.
That's something new to put out there in the atmosphere. Be the leader in that. A lot
Look,
of folks would be leaning forward like, what? Did you hear what so and so is doing on May 30th?
look, I know, and that's okay. And so if you can't get it, you should get the virtual ticket. We're gonna run a live replay for the whole week. And then there's an opportunity to get VIP where you will have lifetime access to the materials and to the information.
Good.
So
Excellent.
my whole goal is to train. I'm a coach and a consultant uh by nature. The same
Mhm.
problems in companies and businesses and with your managers and with your bosses and with your employees is the same problems that they have in the home.
Mhm.
Those things, they go synonymous hand in hand together.
Mhm.
Sometimes the workplace is toxic because people then left home from a toxic
Mhm.
situation and now they
Mhm.
toxic at work.
So, Kevin, I know that you found success and you found the love of your life, right? Through
Ooh,
training and all of that.
yes.
But why should people believe that you have this capability to help them work through their relationship? Can you give us some of your stats, some of the data, the numbers of people that you've worked with? How do we know? Convince me that it works outside of Kevin and his special woman that he found.
Okay, so look, so I'm gonna go back a little bit. So first of all, the first job I had out of college, I worked with at-risk youth and their families. I went through the ranks from a residential counselor to a program specialist. And so I would do the programs to help rebuild kids' confidence, the
Okay.
family unit confidence. And then I became a residential manager and a consultant where I would go in and work with schools and court run schools and
Mhm.
still with the whole gamut, right? So I spent 21 years of training just helping people and understanding the dynamics and the relationship challenges that people have in their family, right? When I left that career, I went on to coach football, college head coach. I did that. I worked in admissions, still the same problem, right? Along the way, I ran into a tool where I understood how people were wired and I got trained and certified in it. Once I got trained and certified in it, I was able to help put together court run schools in 6 months that they couldn't put together in 2 years. I went into software company and they hadn't made multi-million-dollar sales until I got there and created and started making the multi-million-dollar sales. I went in and were able to grow BNI chapters to double in size, and everybody hit their financial goals and dancing on the rooftop goals that had never been done before. And so the tool that I have and the training that I have comes from experience and an anointing to help people get there. So it didn't come from a television program. It didn't come from college education. All of those things were just cooking ingredients for the main ingredients of understanding what the root of a problem is. And besides, you spend more money when you go to dinner and eat at Ruth Chris. So you might get training on your relationship and do it right. Especially if you don't want to end up divorced or you want the relationship to work and you want to be happy. You have to make an intentional decision to train. And if you don't train with us, find somebody to train with.
Absolutely. No, that's good right there. Can you talk a little bit about Relationship Avenues, your company?
Oh man, I started Relationship Avenues shortly after I finished that 21 years, because what would happen is they would send me in to do all the training after they landed the $1 million contracts. They would send me in to do the training, and I was like, why don't I just learn how to land contracts and train myself? I love training and development. I love helping people. And most importantly, I just love winning. At the end of the day, there is nothing,
this is what we got in common,
nothing
baby.
like a sweet victory.
That's
victory
right.
Financially.
Number one and number two, it's a difference. It hits different.
It's
number
different.
one is different than number two or number three.
It's different. And because of my sports background, I mean, I had 2 high school state championships.
Yes.
College Rose Bowl. At MSU. And there's just nothing like winning. And so you take those same ethics. I want the same thing in a relationship. I want my relationship to be happy. I want to be first. Right. I want us to make money. I want us to travel. I want to do all of the things that you're supposed to be able to do. And guess what? If you train at it, you can make it happen. And that's what I've done. I've trained at it. I mean, I've already failed.
Yes.
So, and then I followed my own formula.
Great.
I followed that on my own dating roadmap. I followed it to a T.
Okay,
and the last time we did
it, landed the prize.
I wasn't married. And I was talking about that dating roadmap then because it kept me from getting into bad relationships. So at the worst case scenario, it'll keep you from getting in bad relationships if you follow the roadmap.
Excellent. Now, one last question.
Okay.
Can you give me some of the takeaways that people will experience after attending the Single Success Experience on May 30th?
Okay, I'll give you a couple of takeaways. One, they're gonna have a blueprint, actual roadmap that they're gonna walk out that door with, and it's gonna have 7 checkpoints. And all they have to do is follow this roadmap. And we're going to go over each checkpoint while we're there in the conference. We have the #1 speaking platform with Dr. Sean Fair, who's coming in, who works with all the top corporations and helping them put together visions to make billions of dollars for their company. He's going to be there helping the singles put together a vision for their singlehood lives so that you don't have to get lost in a relationship and 20 years later get a divorce because you never learned how to get married to your purpose first as a single
Mm.
person.
Mhm.
We got Dr. Robert Watkins, who's going to be in the house. Oh my goodness. He's talking about team dynamic and how to effectively partner. Because during these times, if we don't learn how to partner with people, we
Mm-mm.
will get further financially behind.
Right.
You're going to walk away with a financial plan on how to effectively partnership.
Mhm.
We
Mhm.
got we got Dr. Shelley Denal's gonna be in the house. You want to
Mhm.
talk about healing? She has Teach Me How to Heal.
Teach me how to heal.
She's gonna have everybody dig deep and remove one thing that they need to work on and replace it with something that's gonna be healthy.
Wow.
That's just getting started.
Mhm.
We there for the whole day, and we're there to create tools, do assignments, work throughs right then. And when you leave that workshop, my only goal is for you to say, I know I need more. Kevin,
Mhm.
can I get with you?
Yes.
Dr. Watkins, can I get with you? I
Mhm.
need training because
Yes.
I want people to attract the
Mhm.
love that they need, deserve, and want, and then know how to keep it and maintain it. That's where we
Absolutely.
go wrong. We don't know how to do that.
Absolutely. And I love that. I really do. And that's why I'm here using my platform to get people to register, is because as a CEO of Women of Power and Transformation, which is an organization that helps women, professional women, balance out their life, right?
Yes.
Just to see so many women within my family and my community that don't have covering. They're doing it all by themselves. These young women out there, very bright, very attractive. They have everything except that mate,
That's
you
right.
know? And it's something that has stayed with me for a lifetime, because I was fortunate. God sent my husband to me, right?
Right.
But I think about, my community, my sisters all the time, and even the men as well, because they're dealing with some insurmountable challenges. My husband and I built together. We were young, I guess you could say young and dumb, but, we met in college and we built together.
Right.
Nowadays, these young people, these men want to have it all together first, and then they're ready to meet someone and have a deeper relationship. And that's just a little bit different than what I'm used to. And you
Right.
miss out on all that fun of the trial and the tribulations and things that you can laugh about. To me, that's what brings the relationship together. Before
That's
my
right.
husband and I had even gotten married, we had gone through death in his family and death in my family, so you could see how a person responds to different things.
That's right.
Traveling and, reduction in workforce, all these things that hit us as we're working with the government separate, right?
That's
And
right.
so I could see how he reacts in different situations, right? This
That's
is
right.
not a casual thing. This is we're watching and observing. It's like, oh, I like the way he dealt with that and how he handled that.
That's
And
right.
that's what made us stronger. And so I want to give this gift. I want to give this gift to everybody that's listening. Do yourself a favor. You deserve it. There's nobody better than you, right?
That's right.
You deserve it. And the old way of doing things, is good to mix a little old with the new, but we in different times now, y'all. We in totally different times. And do yourself a favor, share this to everybody that you know. You never know who needs this information, right?
That's
Don't
right.
even think about or prejudge people. Just share and share alike, because sharing is caring, right?
That's right.
And then we'll reach the people that we need to reach.
That's
Right,
right.
Kevin?
That's right. I appreciate you for being here. Thank you for rocking with me again.
Yeah.
We did a phenomenal job before.
Yes, it was
We
April Fools. It was April
It
Fools,
was
and it was
April.
like, quit the foolery.
That's right. Quit the foolery. We did it in April. This time we doing it
Man.
in May. In church we call it the May movement.
Okay, the May
Now we're getting
movement.
ready to do a movement. We want you
Yeah.
to move in your relationships. We want you to get training, get get tools. Look, don't. It's
Yes.
not old. It's not old.
Right.
What what
Right.
what what this is my last point and I'm done. It's
Uh-huh.
not old.
Right.
What it is there's a scripture in the Bible that says there's nothing new under the sun.
Under the sun, there
It's
isn't.
just relabeled. It's the first
Right.
time the young folk is hearing it. But
Uh-huh.
this game been around
It's
for
been
a
around.
long time.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
They didn't call it the LGBTQT. Sorry if I butchered the acronyms,
Uh-huh.
but they didn't call it that then. That's not nothing new. They
Right.
called it something different back then, but it was the
Yes. It was
same
the same
exact
thing.
thing. But successful relationships have a certain formula. And
Mm.
programming says, I don't want you to be successful. I want to divide you.
Mm. Mhm.
So
Mhm.
it's not
Divide and
the guy.
conquer.
It's not the guy. It's not
Mhm.
the girl. It's the program.
Mm.
So you got to look who shook your jar. You know what I'm talking about.
Mhm. Mhm.
Y'all, everything was cool in the jar until somebody
Mhm.
shook. You got to
Mhm.
look at who's shaking the jar. And we're going to talk about that on May the 30th.
Yes.
Here in Orlando, Florida, and online. So
Mhm.
tune in, click the link in the bio, and get your ticket, purchase, or email me for any questions that you may have. I'll be more than happy to answer.
Excellent.
All right.
Beautiful.
Okay,
Thank you,
Trip.
my brother.
Thank
I
you so
love
much,
you,
y'all people. I
Trip.
love you too. Yeah, we're gonna get it, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, y'all. Take care. We gone.
All right. Have